Republican North Carolina Congressman Brad Knott here to talk about the standoff. Good morning, Congressman.
Hey, good morning. It's good to be here.
Good to see you. Before we dive into the politics, I want your thoughts very quickly on that massive global outage that knocked out service for online computer users yesterday. From a national security point of view, if you would, it's a concern. NSA uses that server.
It's a big concern, and it's one of those we'll have to see where the investigation takes us as to why it happened, how we can prevent it in the future. It's something that we can't allow, and why it happened needs to be discovered immediately. And it created a tremendous headache. I applaud the people who got it back online quickly, but it'll be interesting to see how and why this happened like it did.
Senate Republicans, meanwhile, they're headed to the White House for a lunch in the Rose Garden with the president. What's on the table for discussion there?
Yeah, I think that all Republicans in Washington and around the country are working to try to mitigate the effects of this shutdown. We just heard the report about Senator Johnson trying to introduce bills to limit the severity of it. We want to pay the troops. We want to pay our first responders. We want to protect some of the programs that take care of the needy, the elderly. And so far, again, the Republicans have passed numerous times a clean CR to keep the government open. But because of the Democrats' refusal to negotiate in good faith, here we are almost a month into this shutdown. So that's what's going to be discussed today.
What do you think it's going to take, Congressman?
You know, I'm afraid that it's going to take more pain before a few Democrats will tiptoe over to the sensible side here. I mean, the Schumer shutdown is purely a political play. The president, the speaker, they got in front of our committees, in front of our conference, and they urged us to pass a clean CR. No gimmicks, no politics. And just for emphasis, this was based off of Biden-era spending that Democrats had voted for well over a dozen times. And Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries have created this issue to try to retain relevance within their own party, which is, as we all know, it's drifting further and further to the left. And so I hope that 4 or 5 senators on the Democratic side will come to their senses, reopen the government, and then we can get back to business.
Meanwhile, a lot of Americans, as you pointed out, and our reporting team has reported on many Republicans and Trump supporters. They're starting to really feel the pain of, having no paycheck here. In fact, Energy Secretary Chris Wright, he was speaking at a news conference in Nevada yesterday. He said 1,400 employees have now been furloughed across the National Nuclear Security Team. Let's listen.
We have run out of federal funds for federal workers. So here it's 68 employees were furloughed today, but all of the federal workers that we have here. We've worked within the Trump administration, across the administration, in the DOE and OMB to find creative ways to keep funding, to keep our contractors employed, at least through the end of the month. This is critical for 2 reasons. Number one, this is thousands of families that are working hard, patriots, to support our country and build the systems that are critical to protect the sovereignty of our nation. Number two, it is our national security. These are jobs of great gravity. We need to maintain our nuclear stockpile, have our adversaries confident that we have our stuff together. We have a secure and ready to deploy at a moment's notice stockpile.
Not just family lives, Congressman. We're messing with our security, as the director said.
It's unbelievable. And that's just one item of a long list of areas that need to be addressed with real urgency here. And again, the Democrats made it to their No Kings rally. They made their point. They went up and made their own little videos all over the Capitol building. I urge them to come back to work. Again, these bills, these CRs that we keep voting on in the Senate almost 15 times now, these are Biden-era spending levels. Let's do the right thing, open the government back up, and let's get back to work.
Speaking of that No Kings rally, all of them across the country, 7 million people turned out over the weekend for multiple protests, all of them under the banner of the No Kings protest. The president, he was asked about his thoughts about being called a king. Listen.
I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Meanwhile, I want to take a look, if we can throw it up on the screen, Congressman, a list posted on X just recently by a prominent conservative influencer, the 10 years of longtime don't want to leave Washington politicians. We're talking Chuck Grassley here. He's been there more than 50 years. Schumer, 44 years. McConnell, 40 years. Pelosi, 38 years. Maxine Waters, 37 years. Bernie Sanders, 34. Those are queen-like and king-like terms, are they not, Congressman?
You know, most of those people were in office before I was born. That just puts it in perspective. And the president, absolutely, it's silliness. These are just some disgruntled far left people that missed the days of Biden and Harris. And they've had their day. Again, to all the Democrats in Washington, do the right thing. You check the box. Now let's get back to work.
Was there really scuttlebutt or some conversation with Democrats, at least that maybe you were privy to, that they had to get through this protest this past weekend before they could actually talk? They had to do that first for the optics.
100%. That was accepted all over this town. Unfortunately, I get it politically on their side. They are becoming a far left party. There really isn't a moderate wing of the Democratic Party. It's led by AOC here in the House. And in New York, obviously, Zohran Mamdani has taken that whole state by storm, not just Manhattan. Chuck Schumer, he's been in office for almost 50 years. He's tried to cling on to relevancy. And again, here we are. They made it through this rally. My hope is that 4 or 5 senators on the Democratic side will come across the aisle, vote to keep the government open. But I agree with your previous guest. If we don't seize this opportunity, if the Democrats buckle down, I could see it going the other way, quite candidly. I hope that doesn't happen. But they're operating in a very weird space right now, and it's sort of hard to reconcile.
North Carolina Representative Brad Knott, appreciate your time and your perspective.
Thank you.